All right, hello and welcome to I assume what's going to be excruciating live Sudoku. A Sudoku subreddit user, okay, application here, who is a regular on the forum, has posted a puzzle saying it's fairly nasty. It took him several hours. Uh, so if this makes it to a video at all, um, I assume I haven't taken up video editing really yet, so I will leave they're called chapter marks, I think, in the scrubber at the bottom of the video. It'll mark out sections that you can just skip past me staring at the screen doing nothing. Uh, but anyway, here we go. I think I copied this already, but just in case, let me just get it in the clipboard again. Copy that, and we will import it and be on our way. Looks like ones can only go in those two cells of this block up here, so I'm going to mark out that with something like Snyder notation. Uh-huh. And off to the races. I don't see a single 2 on the whole board, so switching to 3. I don't know. I just kind of feel like putting those. Oh, there. Haha. I cheated. So those are the only 2 spots for a 3 in this block. And oh, the only 2 spots there for a 3, so that gives us an X-wing on 3s there. And anything else interesting with 3s? Aha! It has to be in that cell. Wow, I'm blind so far today. I did not see this blocking those 2, and I have those helps turned on. Let me turn those off so that I don't stop cheating quite so much. Yeah, let's turn everything off for now. Okay, so that gave us a 3 there, and then that gives us a 3 here as well. 4 is there. Uh-huh. And I guess, again, I just feel like filling in more notes than normal right now. Not sure why, but that does give us a strong link on those 4s, so that's kind of cool. All right, 5. You know, I might as well, if I'm doing this, settle into a pattern of marking everything. Like, where does 1 go here? It can be these 3 places, right? And up here, it could be all over the place. All right, moving on. 5. 5 can go there. Aha, strong link. Nice. And that gives us a strong link there, which is neat. Strong link here. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think it places a 5 here, right? Because we have this strong link eliminating from here. Can't be there. Yeah. We have a 5 here. Cool. Up here, we still have to figure out where 5s go. Oops. Can't be this, so it can only be those 3 places up here. And, that places a 5 here, which then places this 1, eliminating those 1s. Okay. And that was a strong link here. Oh, wait a minute. That eliminates, oh gosh, we're doing much better than that. So that can't have 5 there or there, which means that's the actual 5. And it eliminates those 2, which means that's the 5, and that's the 5. Okay. Gosh, I don't know what's so hard about this puzzle. Nothing could possibly be difficult. Look how easy it is. I say that knowing it's going to get terrible very soon. That must be the 6. That's a 6, which means that's the 4. I know from that strong link that I made earlier. Now that leaves us with a strong link on those 4s. What happened to 6? 6 was I just marking 6 for the first time? Oh, I was. Okay. So that means 5 was the one I wanted to go back and see if that let me fill in anything new. No, we have all of our 5s placed. 4 then must be one I just created, eliminating that one and leaving a strong link on those. And a strong link here. And strong link there. That's fun. Okay. We were on 6s. Where can 6 go? Strong link there, which makes for a strong link there, and it's got to come back into this. So there's a pattern here. These two make like an end cap. There can't be anything below them, we can see from the strong links. And then it's going to come up to this pair, so it has to turn the corner. And this has to meet with some 6s somewhere else. And it's not going to be in this block, because there's already a 6 in that block. So these two sort of have to meet a new end cap over in here somewhere. And look, they're going to be right there. And that completes this sort of like bent pattern where there's a pair on both ends and the diagonals that join them together. If you can see that. And all the rest of the 6s are filled in. 7. Where can 7 go? I guess anywhere in there. Now there's not a lot interesting to do with 7s here. I'll move on. 8. Not many 8s. Oh, there's okay, that's cool. There's a strong link on 8s down here. Oh, but okay. Well, that's not as cool as I thought. But that means, that's one of the missing values in this row. Oh, sorry, this column. So where else can 8s go down here whenever I put a mark in a block, I fill in that value everywhere in the block. That's a rule that I have for myself, and it just helps me know later if I, notice there's a 1 here, I don't have to think about whether there should be a 1 anywhere else in the block, because if I put it there, I've put it everywhere. And what's the other value in this column? That would be nice to fill in. 2? That's the missing value. So 2 is a strong link which completes those 2 cells. And now, because of my rule for myself, I have to finish the 2s in both blocks, and it could be anywhere in that block and also anywhere in that block. Okay, we were on 8, I believe. 8 has to be in one of those 2 positions, which then this one and that pair combined block it out of all but these 2 positions up here. And I don't really see much else interesting. 9. 9 can go... Well, there's a strong link here. This 9 eliminates all but those 2. And then that means there's going to be a strong link down here, and I will complete that block. And I don't really see much else. Okay, so that's my first pass through doing the quick initial notation. And now I'm going to go back and fill in upgrade to full notation. And I'll start maybe with this stack here. Stack means 3 columns. So there's three stacks, each with 3 columns. Okay, so what values do I still need to put in here? 6? No, 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 7. That's the only one that's not filled in, and it can go in any of those spots, and now that block is done. Up here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, we need 7, which again can go in any of them. We have 8 and 9, so that's done. And up here, we've got more. We need to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 and 9 are left. 8 can go anywhere. 9 can go anywhere. Okay, so now I will scan up and down the columns to see if there are more strong links to record, and I don't see any. So moving on, let's go across the top band here. There's 3 bands, each band has 3 rows. Little terminology for you. 2 can go anywhere. And 9 is the only other value to place up here, and it also can go anywhere. Okay. And to fill out the band, 2 can go anywhere. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 can go in those spots. 9 can go in those spots. That should complete everything there. And now I will scan across the rows to find new strong links, which there is here. Only 2 1s in the entire row. So you do a strong link, meaning there's only two possible spots. If it's not here, it must be there, and vice versa. 8, looks like that 8 has a strong link here. That's all I see. Oh, what next? Maybe we can do this second band. Let's start over here. 2 can go anywhere. Those 2s seem like they're going to be problematic. They are very unrestricted. 7 and 9 are still left to fill in. Oh, 9 is somewhat restricted. That's kind of nice. And 2, I assume, can go anywhere. Yeah, of course it can. 3 is marked. 4, 5, 6, 7. Anywhere. 8, and finally 9. Okay. Now I can do the rows here again and look for extra strong links to mark. I don't spot any, so let's finish up in the home stretch of just filling in notation. For 5, nope, got so 7. Anywhere. 8, we have 9. Oh, 9 we also have. Okay, that was it. Now, scanning the, oh, that's not a strong link. That's just a lone single, hidden single. Ah, no, this is me being really dumb with pencil marks. Shouldn't have been a pencil mark there because there's a 1 here. That leaves this as a strong link on 1s in this block. Okay, looking for strong links. I think 1s right there are a strong link, and that's great because that eliminates this one. We know in this column, one of these 2 values must be the 1, so we put a strong link there, and now that eliminates the 1 from any place else that sees both ends of the strong link. Oh, and I should have known that anyway because there was a strong link here that I had already marked that also eliminates this. Okay, spanning the columns. 6, oh, 6 is already marked. Okay, and filling in the very last one. 2 can go anywhere. 4, 5, 6, 7 can go there. 8 can also go there. And that finishes out the block. That's all of the candidate marks we need. Now let me just skim. We'll do, I guess, since I just happened to notice one, we'll do the columns, looking for more strong links, which I'm seeing a few. 1, yep. 9, 3, 2. Okay, and the rows. Oh, looky there. Strong link on 7 in the row, which means it can't be there or there. Nice. 8. And that's all I see. Okay. Well, doing this without any of my automated hints makes me a little nervous. I often need them. I often make mistakes that they catch, and so I'm not sure how this is going to go without them at all. But anyway, I will scan now quickly for any unique rectangle things that are easy to spot, because with these link marks, sometimes you can find some, like that 2-8 pair. There's a 2-8 buy value cell here, which has a partner in the block that has a 2-8, and there's link marks coming off of this, coming down here. So that's all the signs of what could be a unique rectangle pattern, except you try and match it with another 2-8 down here, and you'll see one of those cells is already all valued up. So, but that's the general idea. I'm looking for like a buy value cell like this, but it doesn't match a 2-9 anywhere else in the row or column within the block. 2-7 here matches this 2-7, but there's no strong links coming off of them, so nothing worth looking at. Same with this 2-7, but no strong links. This 2-7, wow, so many 2-7s. Wow. Here's a 2-7. There's a strong link between the 2-7s, but I need strong links going out of the pair, and we don't have any, so no unique rectangle stuff there. How about this? This 1-2. So there's a buy value cell here with a 1-2. Has a partner in the block that shares a row and has both a 1 and a 2. And there's a strong link coming off of the 1 up to here. So, and look, that makes a rectangle of 1s and 2s. If we could get one more strong link in there, we'd have ourselves at least a hidden rectangle. As it is, I kind of doubt there's anything obvious, but let's think for a minute. There's anything less obvious to do with this potential uniqueness issue. Like if this was not a 9, would that do anything for us? I don't see it. Yeah. If we could just get a link over to this cell on the 1, we'd have it, but no such luck. Okay. So now, a hunting for chains we will go. The first thing, I noticed there's 3 different values that all have a strong link in this cell. So I want to start there. I find that with 3 different values, that could be a real potential for finding productive chains and nets. So, I'm going to start with values that if I like here, this is not a 1, this one is a 1. And now that turns all this 4 and this 6 are both false, which lead to continuing the chain or the net from there. So if this was not a 1, That's a 1, and then that would be a 4, and that would be a 4, and that would be a 3. That'd be a 3. And I want to find something that comes back around to either a 1 off in the distance or a 2-9 that you can that is in the same row or column or block, a 2-9 that can see this cell. Not 1. 1. That makes this a 6. Makes that a 6. Makes that a 6. So that's cool. It can see our starting cell, but this doesn't have a 6 in it, and this doesn't have a 1 in it. So there's no immediate type 2 elimination there. But it's interesting. The 6 there. What else can we do with this block? Can we fill in other values? So we have 1, 4, 6. That leaves us with 2, 7, 8, 9 in the rest of the cells. Doesn't do anything for us quite yet. So 1, 4, 3. That's a 4. Now on 1, now for 4. So we have 1, 4 in the row. And 6. 6, 4, 6, 1, 4. Which leaves us with the same 2, 7, 8, 9 in this whole column. And I have a feeling this is just going to come up everywhere. 2, 7, 8, 9 is just going to be a brick wall I keep hitting. Look, these cells even have that. This has that. 2, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, look, everywhere is just 2, 7, 8, 9. All the other values have strong links between them almost. That's really curious. All the 6s have a strong link. All the 1s, a lot of the 1s have a strong link. I don't know what to do with that observation, but it's interesting. Okay, nothing immediately is coming up. And right now I don't want to be super exhaustive. I just want to do some quick checks to see if I can what if I say if this was I'm tracing a sorry, I need to tell you what I'm doing. I'm tracing a path backward for how I can get a 4 to how to set a 4 into this cell. You know what? I'm sorry. I just noticed I can do a 1. No, I can't. So if this was not a 4, 4, not a 4, 4, no, I've got that backward. So instead I have to do this one. Not a 4, 4, not a 4, 4. So if I start with this being not a 4, oh, that's what I did. Which means I can start with, if this is not a 3, we'd have 3, not a 4, 4, not a 4, 4, and we hit our cool cell that spawns off in all directions. So if I start way back here, can I do anything interesting? Maybe we could end up placing a 1 that you can see from this cell. 3, not a 4, 4, 4, not a 1, 1. Which means one of those two has to be the 1. Not sure which 1. Get it? 1. 4. Not a 3. 3, 4, 4. Makes this just a 2, 9 pair here, which then makes this a 7. Because this 2, 9 pair there, that a 7. Oh, that gives us a contradiction? If this was not a 3, we'd have a 3, not a 4, 4. If that was a 4, this would be a 2-9 and a 2-9. Maybe what I'm discovering is just like a hidden pair or something. We'd have a 2-9, 2-9, which would leave us with a 7 here and a 7 there in the same column. Because this, if we get rid of this 4, yeah, that's the easiest way to say it. If we get rid of this 4, then we're left with a 2-9 pair here that turns this into a 7 and that into a 7. So we can't get rid of that 4. It has to be the 4. Okay, so then that eliminates it from here and here. And we have strong links that we can use to just sort of keep going. Ah, that's gonna, okay, cool. This is doing things. Let's see, the strong link there tells us this must be a 3, which eliminates it from there, which tells us that must be a 3. Oh, let me get out my keyboard shortcuts here. Now we have, that strong link tells us this must be a 1. That's going to eliminate this one. So that must be a 1, which eliminates that one. Let's see, in no particular order here, this is now a nice strong link on that pair. Let's see, any more strong links to go tell us what values to fill in, or does that do it for us and it's time to go try and hunt for strong links again? Hunt for new strong links that this revealed. I guess so. So there's a strong link on 9s there that's new. And this is real dangerous. Oh, wait a minute. There's a hidden, that's the only cell that can be a 1 in this whole block. Okay. Cool. Strong link on 9s. We've got strong links all over the place to fill in. On 7 there. I guess maybe I'll scan the columns for new strong links. I'm just sort of almost starting from scratch, just looking at everything for new strong links again, because we filled in so many values. I lost track and kind of didn't feel like doing it real slowly and systematically. Okay, and the rows. And you can see as I'm sort of tracing with my mouse here, my technique is to look at this like mini row, 1, 2, 3, to look for strong links. And then I'm going to look in this mini row, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. And I find that's a reasonable way that I've been able to learn to be able to skim and find not all of them quickly, but a lot of them. And hopefully that is going to sort of be good enough. At some point, I'm going to have been staring at this doing nothing for an hour and realize eventually that there was just a couple of strong links I was missing that would have helped. And within the blocks, we can look just within the blocks where we, well, I guess, oh God. Often once you've done the rows and the columns, there's only a couple left within the blocks that you've missed, that you couldn't have found otherwise, because they're always going to be at an angle like these 6s. Otherwise, it would also be in a row or a column like these 6s. And they're just, it's just not super common. Oh, but look, I missed this one in the row anyway. Oh, no, I didn't. Ah, this is why it's good to look at blocks. So that gives us an omission. What is that called? A pointing pair or something like that? So one of those two must be the 7, which means this one cannot be. Now that gives us a strong link there and there. I'm just going back. I'm skimming now, just sort of like letting my eyes scan the blocks to see if they just sort of automatically notice any new strong links, and they did not. Okay, so that looks like it got rid of both cells that had 3 different values with links. So now I get a little more systematic about things. And I'm going to find if a cell has 3 values, I will try to look for chains and nets starting from any of the strong links of those 3 values. If instead a cell has 2 values, then let me find a good example here. I will try and find strong links starting from the 2, not the 8. The 8 already has all of its strong links, so there's not very much that I might be able to find, but the 2 is missing one in the row, and so I would start a hunt from there. So if it has 3 values, I'll start from any strong link. If it has 2 values, I'll start if it is missing a strong link. Okay, so if this was not a 1, we'd have 1, 6, 6, there's a 6 there. A 6 down here, did I say that yet? Places a bunch of 6s. Remember that pattern that I pointed out as we were filling in the very initial notation. You know, you place any one of the 6s and it cascades through that whole pattern. In this case, it would be handier if it cascaded to the other 6s because like it would place this one and then that would just cascade out further to the 8. But not so this time around. We have a 1 over here. Oh, that's missing a strong link, but it doesn't help us. What's happening? There we go. Places all the 1s and all the 6s, but then I don't actually see that bubbling out to anything else. And so I'm just scanning where the 6s go again to see if anything jumps out at me, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anything. So just before I move on to the next starting value, I'm going to flip it and I'm going to just check. What if it is a 1? Does that give me anything interesting to work with? So if this was a 1, we have a 1 there. Oh, that's it. That goes nowhere. No 1. That is a 1. Okay. Yeah, nothing. So that's actually the same, it turns out, as asking what if this is not a 1, and it does nothing. Turns those 2 into a 1, and it cascades nowhere. So moving on, let's see if this is not a 6. We already figured out that configuration just doesn't fan out to anything. In fact, in this place, let's see, not 6, 6, not a 6, 6, not a 6. Yeah, literally nothing. I would know because when I say something is a 6, I look to see if there's any strong links coming out of that cell, because then that would cascade. And none of them did. This one is a 6, that one's a 6, that one's a 6. None of those have other strong links. So I'm going to move on. Let's try the 8. Not an 8, 8, not a 7, 7. It makes this a 2, 6 pair, which gets rid of that 6, makes that an 8. 2, 7. Makes that an 8. And anytime I see an 8, because I started with an 8, if I land on a new 8, I check to see if anything sees both ends. Because what I've done is through this chain or net, I've said if this starting place is not an 8, then this other place is an 8, which is a strong link. You don't mark it because it's, that would be too much. There's no notation for that. But if something sees both ends, if anything sees both of those 8s, that thing cannot also be an 8 because one of the other 2 is going to be. That's a type 1 alternating inference chain. Anyway, not the case here. We said that was a 7, so that's not. Oh, that's interesting. It makes this a 7. Because this is an 8, which means that one can't be. This was the 7, so that can't be, so it means that's the 7. That's kind of interesting. So if this was not an 8, we'd have 8, 7, gives us a 2-9 pair. Oh ho ho! Okay, that is cool. So if I can make that a 7, I'll trace that again. Not an 8, 8, not a 7, 7. That made this a 2-6 pair, which makes that an 8. That's a 2, not a 2, 7, which gets rid of this 7. Perfect. So then we have a 2-9 there. So if this isn't an 8, it can be neither 2 nor 9, obviously, because it's 8. If it's not an 8, we're left with the 2-9 pair here, and it still can't be 2-9. So, in either case, this can be neither 2 nor 9. And did that give us any new strong links? No, because 2 and 9 are like everywhere. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do that. All right, well, that did some damage to that one cell, so that's cool. I can still use this as a good starting spot. Now we switched from a cell with more than 2 values to just a bi-value cell, which means I wouldn't use all the same starting points for searching for chains and nets. But in this case, the 8 is still missing a strong link vertically, and so I can still try to keep going. And now the goal is to start eliminating 8 from these cells with chains or nets. Narrow it down. Or maybe place an 8, that would be even cooler, but at least try to eliminate. So we had a 2-9 pair there, which made this, what did we say? This was an 8, that's a 7. The 7 here. Which means one of those has to be the 7, and that's not a 7. Oh, well, that was already obvious. This was a 7. So we're just with a 2-6 pair here. Does that help? No, I'm chasing useless things here. I want to figure out where the 8s go. What did this cell become? That did something, I remember. This became, what was it, a 2-6 pair? Not an 8, 8, not a 7, 7. 2-6 pair makes this an 8. So that's a 2. 2, 7, 8 here. So that's a 2. Gets rid of the 2 from all those with the 7, 8, 9 triple down here. That's not doing a lot for me. If I could place this 9, that would do something. So this was a 2. There's a 7. 8 gives us a 2-9 pair there. Which gives us would give us a cool remote pair on 2-9 if that was helpful, but it doesn't. Because those were 2-9 up here. These are 2-9 down here. Everything is coming up 2-9. Which means somewhere, if we can just place a 2 or a 9, it'll probably chain through all of them. Like, what about this one? Can we make this be either the 2 or the 9? Well, it can't be the 2 because, or no, this was a 8. Huh. Oh, look, and it even comes down to this 2-9. 2-9 is everywhere. If we can manage to place one of those, like I said, it should just cascade all around. 2, 7, 8. We said that was a 7. which makes this into a 2-9. And that becomes a 2-9 pair here between this one and that one, which makes that a 1 and that a 6. Which could get us back to the starting point, but I don't want to try and see if that's a useful continuous loop, continuous chain. Oh, wait a minute. No. Okay, we said this was a 7. Right. That's a 7, which made that a 2-9 pair. This one and this one. That's the 8. 1, 6. Gosh. Something's got to give here. This has placed way too many things to not do something productive. I guess I could switch gears and consider, I know it's placed a ton of things all over the board. If this is an 8, will that interact with any of them? If this is an 8, then we get a 6, 6, that's not, none of those are 8s down there. Yeah, see, that does nothing for me. Okay, going back to it. Not an 8, 8, 7, that's a 2-9 pair. That's a 7. We had a 7 here, here, here. Can't see that eliminating. I was checking to see if I could place a 7 in here, because that could maybe do it for us. In fact, it would definitely do it for us, because we'd have, these are the only 7s left. Not an 8. 6, not a 6. 6, how did I do that? Not an 8. 8, not a 7. 7 eliminates those two 7s, which means this must be the 7. Which eliminates this one, which means one of those two has to be the 7. And we've got a lot of other 7s going on. There was a 7 up here, which means that's got to be the 7. Still doesn't quite help us. Here we had 2, 9. That didn't help us place this 7 at all. Man, this is just tough. I've had literally, I think I placed a 1 right there at some point, which leaves a 2, 8, 9 triple all the way up here. So I feel like there's even less potential to interact with these up here and place something. Again, down here we have 8 and 7 placed, leaving us with the 2, 9 pair down here. Right, and the 2, 9 pair just chains everywhere. I have not noticed it being a uniqueness problem yet. There's always extra little fingers spidering around. But if we could just break that anywhere, there's like 2, 9 cells are here, 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 there and there. Uh, yeah, here. Obviously there and there. And most of them are connected to each other. Most of them, if you set any one of them, there's a good chance it would cascade to many others. Did I say, did I find a 2-9 pair up here? This was a, oh no, it came over to here. This one, that was a 2-9. Which makes that 7. Is that the same thing I said before was a 7? Yes. Hmm. Okay. That is 6. That's a 7. Maybe there is a uniqueness problem. This is a lot to keep track of. It's getting very close to 1. There was a 2-9 here. And there. Those two have to be to then encounter a uniqueness problem. We'd have to connect them both across the rows and the columns. And we can definitely connect it to this one in the rows. Can we connect this one over in the rows? Does this become a 2-9 pair? Maybe not. Maybe that's going to be a holdout. Yeah, because otherwise we'd have it. If this, we could turn this into a 2-9, that would, and that was the 1, that would make this an 8. And we could eliminate those, and that would be fantastic, but just not that far. Just couldn't, it didn't. We can eliminate the 1, but we can't eliminate that 8 to try to accomplish that. Well, I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to give up on that. It's weird to trigger so many values through these chains to make such a big net and not make it productive. But I guess that's why this one is, what does it say? A fairly nasty puzzle. Is there something else I can do to trigger this not being an 8 that could be productive? Like I could say, if this was not an 8, 8, not an 8, and it would trigger all the rest. So if this is not an 8, did something else that we just figured do anything interesting for us? Or even this one, not an 8, 8, not an 8, 8, not an 8. Now everything else that we just figured out applies. So if this was not an 8, we placed a 8 here. Oh, that does something. No, we didn't play. No, we placed a 2 there. Yep. That makes more sense. 2. We had a 7 there. That was, we didn't place any 7s over here, I don't think. Oh, look, if this was not an 8, we'd end up with a 2-7 pair here. Which would make that an 8. Oh, I thought we were going to break into these 2 9s, but we didn't. Okay, never mind. I'm going to mark this. I'm thinking about this one. Oh, not an 8. 8. Oh, is there something interesting with uniqueness here with these 2-7, 2-7, the other sides? No. I mean, maybe, but I don't see it. What about this one? This would also get us through the whole chain. Not an 8-8, not an 8-8, not an 8-8, not an 8. That makes all the rest happen. Oh, maybe this is interesting, because something we determined was that this is a 7. And then that's actually productive. That eliminates this 7. Okay, so if this was not an 8, let's follow the chain and see if we can make that be a 7. Not an 8, 8, 2, 7. Okay, not an 8, 8, not a 2, 2. Which means those aren't a 2, which makes it a 7-6 pair, which eliminates that 7, which makes it a 2. Oh, not which makes that not a 7, which means this is a 7. Wait, what? Whoa. I'm doing something wrong, or we're going to have a contradiction. Let me go the other direction. Not an 8, 8. Not an 8, 8. Not an 8, 8. Not an 8. We've done this before. And from here we went not an 8, 8. Not a 7, 7. Which makes this a 2-6 pair, which makes that an 8. Not an 8, 8. That would be a contradiction. That places something. Okay, one more time. If we start saying this is not an 8, we get 8, not 8, 8, not 8, 8, not 7, 7. 2-6 pair here gets rid of this. 2 makes that an 8. Not an 8, 8. Contradiction. If we started with not an 8 and ended up saying it is an 8, therefore it must be an 8. Now that gives us a 7 here. Get rid of that strong link. Get rid of that. Whoops. Go back. Gets rid of that 8. And that 8, obviously. Now that's a strong link, which means this is the 8. Gets rid of that one. And that strong link, or the fact that it's now a lone single, means this is a 2. Uh-huh. Okay. Now, any new strong links to mark out? 7 there. I guess we can do the 2, 9 there. Nothing new here. 2, 6, 9. 6s are already marked. 2, 7, it's already nicely marked up. That feels like it should have done more. Oh, here we got a strong link on 9s here. Okay. All right, all right. Maybe I'm missing some strong... Oh, yes, we've got this 2-9 pair here. 2-9 pair. Everything's coming up 2-9 pairs. Eventually, we're going to trigger one of those. That'll be a good day. A good moment. All right. Cool. Gosh, that's still... we did so much with this 8. I feel like we're on a roll. Trying to find more ways to connect to this large chain, this large net. Still, let's see how large it still is. 8, not a 7, 7. Those are not 7, makes that 7. Not 7, that is a 7. Oh. Ah, strong link there. That should be marked now. There we go. 8, not a 7, 7. There's a 7 there. Yeah, it got smaller. It definitely got smaller. We decided that was a 7, yeah? Now we have a new 6 link coming out of there. Not an 8, 8, not a 7, 7, not a 6, 6. That's not new, but it's easier to get to now. It's a 6, which makes that a 2. I don't think we knew that before, or discovered that before. So that's 2, 7, 6. This 2 means that's a 2, because neither of those can be. Oh, wait a minute, what's going on here? We have 4 values in 3 cells. Which one of those should be eliminated? Oh, the 2's. Oh, that's interesting. And didn't I just say it had to be a 2? So we're going to find a contradiction here if that's the case. I got rid of all those 2's, so we're marking strong links on 2's that surfaced. Okay. Now that's interesting. Let's do that again. What did I... Oh, no, I see. I don't think there will be a contradiction, but let's just keep going. Not an 8, 8, 7. Either of those are 7. That's a 7. Somehow we figured out, we broke this 2, 6, not an 8, 6, not a 6, 2, 6, 7. That won't be a 2, but that doesn't really give us much yet. We have our 2, 9 pair there. Okay. So we're hitting a lot of the same things. We now can solve these 3 cells. Before I think we were, I hadn't seen how to fix this 2, 6 up here. Now we can. Right, because this is a pair now. That gives us the 6's. So, again, maybe we can look out to see what else could cause this to be not an 8. Like if this was not a 6, then this would be a 6 that's not an 8, and everything else applies. And and we said if this is not a 6, it must be a 7, right? Not a 6. We have a hidden triple on 6, 7, 8 here. That's what's going on. Those, okay. Yeah, cool. So notice the pairs. The 6's pair up, the 7's pair up, and the 8's pair up. So 3 values all pair up in 3 cells, which means if you eliminate any one of them, it sets all the rest. And we can't have other values in there. So 2, 9, ha, is just a naked pair that I should have seen long ago. So 2, 9 gets rid of 2s and 9s in the rest of the row. Does that give us any 2 or 9 strong links here? Yes. I guess that's the only one though. Okay. Nice. How else could we set this to not be an 8? It is an 8, so if it's not a 7, obviously, we get all of our same spidery conclusions. Don't see how that helps us. But that also means if this was not a 7, we have 7, not 7, 8, not an 8. So if this was not a 7, we'd have all of our same conclusions. And we placed this one, didn't we? Okay, that might do something for us. So if this was not a 7, oh, it places this one as a 7. Of course. That's not helpful. Okay, we'd have a lot of 2 9s everywhere, of course, because we always have a lot of 2 9s everywhere. This would also become a 2 9. 2 9, 2 9, 2 9, but this one we still haven't broken into. Oh, this would be a 1, not a 1, 1. Okay. Didn't we say that would be a 1? 7. Not a 7. 7, not a 6. 6, not a 1, 1. So that's a 1. 2 9, that'd be a 1. That'd be a 6. So we'd have a triple here, a 2 8, 2 8 9 triple with those 3 cells. And that means we don't have that uniqueness problem. What else would break into this same pattern? If this was not a 9, oh, that's interesting. What if we start on some of these things that do the 2 9 pair business? Does that help us? Maybe it will. If this was not a 9, that's a 9, not a 7 7, not a 6 6, not an 8. And yeah, it does all the same things we've been seeing. If this was not a 9, it's a 2. And now this cascades all of our 2 9 pair things we've been talking about. So this will get us further. This will extend our chain out more, our net. And what's the goal here? Oh, there's no real goal here because this is a bi-value cell that already has a strong link coming out of both directions of the 9. So while it would solve a lot more cells, I'm not convinced there's not a lot of opportunity for that to actually lead to a conclusion. But knowing that that would solve a lot more cells, maybe I should look, what if this is not a 2? If that solves a bunch of cells, then we might have something to talk about. Not a 2, 2, or 9, 2, 9. Wow. Yeah, I'm not seeing much off the top of my head. Not a 2. 9, not a 9. 9 here. Maybe that does something. Not seeing it. Feels like it might, but I'm not seeing it. Not a 2, 9. 9. 2. 9. 2. 9. Oh, okay. Okay. So, I think I finally found something. I don't think it's going to do much, but I think it will do something. We said if this was not a 9, it would do our whole crazy thing, which put a 1 up here. If this is not a 2, which is the only other option, it puts a 9 here. In either case, this was either a 1 or still not a 9. So I think we can eliminate the 9 from here. Now I have to prove that again. Not a 2, 9. Not a 9, 9. Wait a minute. Not a 2, 9. Maybe I have to go the other way. Not a 2, 2. Not a 2, 2. Not a 2, 9. So that would be a 9. Now if we do the other option, not a 9, 9. Not a 9, 9. Oh, and that's enough right there. So either there's a 9 here, or in the other world, there's a 9 here. In both cases, it eliminates this one. But better yet, it also eliminates this one. Because if either this is a 9 or that's a 9, both of these cells are ruled out either way. So that's kind of cool. Gives us a new strong link on 9s here. And here. I'm liking this. This is a fun avenue to keep pursuing. Let's see. Where else can we go on this avenue? I guess I should just keep going, keep spreading. How far can we get this net to go if this is not a 2, and try to keep thinking about how that interacts with the previous net. 2, 9, 2, 9. 9 there, right? Not a 2, 9, not a 9. Yep, 9 there. Okay, I'm not seeing this go anywhere further. But it's kind of cool. We know that if we can place a 2 or a 9, it's going to activate one net or the other. feels useful. Like, what if we look at this 2 here? Which net does that activate? Because there's one of these that placed, I want to say no, I guess it didn't. Anyway, what might this do? Anything interesting? I'm thinking about all the cells that we placed during the net and thinking, would one of those intersect with this and do something cool for us? Oh yeah, because if we placed a 1 there, then that would do it. So if this happens to activate the net, we would be in business. So not a 2, 2. 9, 2, 9. No, that's the wrong net. We wanted them the other way to get back up to saying this is a 1. Okay, well, good thought. What if we start from here? Which net does that activate? Out of 9, 9, 2, 9, 2. This is the first big net then. No, 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 I did that wrong. Out of 9, 9, 2, 9, 2, 9. No, yeah. That's the small net. What about the 7? Does that do anything cool for us? 7. Nope, that stops immediately. Well, let's look up here. Not 7, 7. 8. Oh, that's the big net. The big net was when this is not an 8. Okay. And the big net also placed a 1 there, a 6 there, of course a 7 there. That's where we are starting off. Leaves us with a 2-9 pair down here. Okay, that doesn't look like it's doing anything new and interesting. That means we could also activate the big net by saying this is not a 2. Not a 2, 7. Not a 7. 7. 8. That means that's not an 8. That's the big net. The big net, we said placed all of these values down here, didn't it? In this block, and that would give us an elimination. All right, let's see if we can do that. Not a 2, 7. Not a 7, 7. Not a 7, 7. Oh, we have to get up here. Yeah. Okay. Not a 2, 7. Not a 7, 7. Not a 6, 6. Not a 6. And we also know that it's not a 7 because this was, so that's a 2. So if this is not a 2, this one is the 2. That's what this figures out. That gives us a strong link which eliminates this one. All right, one more time. So not a 2, 7, which eliminates this one. Also, not a 7, 7. Not a 6, 6, which eliminates this one. So we've eliminated both of those. So if this is not a 2, this one is a 2. That means it's a strong link, and we can eliminate that one, which also gives us a strong link there. Nice. Does the big net place anything in this row? I don't think it did. So that might be the end of it. Sorry, I think I just saw something, but no. Okay. I will not try to explain it. It's not worth it. Okay. I don't think there was anything else that gets us off into this row. So let's just keep trying to find ways to activate that big net. I guess, yeah, there's nothing new. We eliminated this too, but the big net places everything in this row. So there's nothing very interesting about that. Nothing there, nothing there. What about down here? Does one of these activate the big net? And if so, would we care? It's the 8 would activate the big net, not an 8-8, not an 8-8, not an 8. That was our very first starting point. In fact, I think we even might have looked at this one very early on, well, a long time ago. And the big net would place nothing interesting for us because it leaves all these 2-9 pairs. What does this do for us these days? Does that activate one of the nets? Not a 2, 2. 2, 7. Not a 7, 8. That activates the big net. Which put a 1 here. Oh, ho, 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 ho. All right, let's do it. Not a 2, 2. Not a 6, 6. Not a 6, 6. Not a 1, 1. That's a type 2 alternating inference chain. If this is not a 2, this is a 1. In both cases, this cannot be a 2, which means this must indeed be the 1. That got us something. Places the 1 there. Maybe it doesn't cascade much further than this, but man, just eliminating, like actually literally placing 2 values feels like a big win right now. That's the end of all the 1s in the whole puzzle. Okay, so no new strong links on 1s because there's no 1s at all. We have a new strong link on 9s. And on 9s there. Ooh, was that it? No more new strong links? Huh, okay, fine. There probably are a lot that I'm missing. In fact, I could peek. Oh, there's only 2 that I'm missing. Surprising. But I guess I'll move on. Still, again, let's think if there's anything else we might find interesting from this starting point that activates the big net. The big net, I don't recall placing anything else that can see this cell. Oh, well, wait a minute. It might place a value here? Which 6s did it do? No, gets rid of this. It makes that a 6. So we're left with 2, 8, 9 here, 2, 8, 9 there, and 2, 8 there. This I feel like might have turned into a, yeah, this turns into a 2, 9. But we still have both of those 8s there. Yeah, okay, I don't see that doing anything else for us. Okay, I'm going to be a little more systematic now and just go through left to right, top to bottom. Let's try this one. Does this activate one of our nets? Not a 9, 9, 7, 2. Oh, strong link to that 9, of course, which is obvious right from the start. 9, 2, 9, 2, 6, 6. That's our big nut. 8. Hmm. I'm not seeing anything. Moving on, we've done these to death. Those are central to the big net. This has all the strong links already. This, I feel like, shouldn't do anything for us, but let's just peek for a minute because it's fairly central to the big net, but not a 6, 6, 7, 8. Oh, did it place these down here? Maybe it does do something. Oh, it does. It places that, obviously, not a 6, 6. Oh no, this is, oh, is this the small net? Wait, hold on. 6, 7, 8. No, this is the big net. So it should place all these values in this block. Just have to remember how. Okay, not a 6, 6, 7, 8, 7, 2, 7. Okay, it did place, that's a 6 and that's a 7, and neither one helps us. Okay, so what about the 9? 9, 8. That's also the big net. Oh, that's interesting. And so that also places the 6 and the 7, which again, obviously, because it's the same cell, does not help us. Right, same big net, starting from the same cell, it's not going to do anything for us. Okay, cool. Moving on. What if we do this 8? 8, that's the big net. And 2, 9 we know is left everywhere, so that doesn't do anything for us. If it's not the 9, 9, 9, 2, 9, that's not the big net, that's the small net. And I don't remember the small net very well to know if this does anything for us. It would have to place a 2 or an 8 somewhere around here. Does it place this 8? Not a 9. 9, not a 9. 2, not a 2, 8. Oh, hey, ha ha ha. Not a 9, 9. Not a 9, 2, not a 2, 8. So if this is not a 9, this is an 8. In either case, this cannot be an 8. So that means that this one is the 8. And now we've got some things to do. The strong link makes that a 7. The strong link over here makes that an 8. Oops, sorry. Right, that sorry. This 8 eliminates that one, which makes it the 6. So that's not a 6. That's not a 6. So this is the 6. And that's not a 6, so this is the 6. That 7 eliminates this one. This strong link means this one is the 7. I think we might have cracked the puzzle. I don't know. There might be a little more to do, but if we didn't totally crack it, I feel like we must be basically. This 2 eliminates that one up there. It shouldn't be nearly as difficult now, I say with great confidence. Let's see. 2s are kind of everywhere still, which I guess is not a big surprise. We started with, are there 0 givens? Yeah, none of the givens were 2, so it's not a big surprise they would be the last holdout. I'm just scanning for new strong links anywhere, and I'm not being too careful because I feel like we should be close, and when you're close, you don't need all the strong links to be marked. It's not a big deal because if you mark half of them, that might still be enough to crack the puzzle. Okay. I'm not going to be that confident, but let's see if we can do anything with this now. Now look, all of our 2 9s are actually exposed. So basically the big net just came to fruition. The big net turned out to be true, right? This was an 8 or a 6. The big net started with not an 8. And so that turned out to be the case. So this was the board that we kept trying to remember and had to keep in our heads to activate the big net to see if that interacted with other things. Well, we no longer have to keep track. The big net has resolved. But it's kind of left quite a bit left over still. But all of these 2 9s, if we could crack a 2 9 somewhere, a 2 or a 9 that flows through the rest, I mean, that would just be devastating to this puzzle. So, how might we be able to do that? Oh, let's put strong link there for that 2 9. And there. Oh, and here. Yeah. Like what if we were to sort of break into it from here somehow? Not to 9, 2, 9, 2, 9, 2, because it's not a 2, 2. Maybe that would be a more interesting place to start. What if we say that? Not a 2, 2, 9, 2, oh, that's too bad. 9 leaves us with a 2, 8 pair there. 2, 7, 9. That's the first time a 2-9 pair led to something other than it led to another value, in this case 7. That feels interesting. What did this one become? Shouldn't we have placed that? Not a 2, 2, 9, 2, 7, 9. Okay, that became a 9, right. Okay, yeah, and that's obvious. Oh, there's already a strong link there that I should have marked. Okay. Oh, hey! Why don't I just open my blind eyes and notice that there's only a single 7? Oh, that this 7 just needs to eliminate that. Which gives us a strong link there. and a strong link there. And now these 7s can activate the 2 9s. Can this one do it? Not a 7. 7, no. This one can do it. Not a 7, 7. Not a 7. 7. Oh, why did I think it would do that? Oh, never mind. Okay, where was I? Up here. This can activate a bunch of 2 9s, but I didn't see it. It must have made, yeah, it made this a 9. 9, not a 9, 9, which means we're just left with a 2 8. It doesn't resolve this one, which, oh yes it does. Not 2 2 8. Oh, if this was not a 2, we'd have a unique rectangle here, making that a 7. Does that do anything interesting for us? If we can somehow bust this, like what's that one become? Not a 2, 2, not a 2, 2, 2, 2, not a 9, not a 9, 9. What's, if this is not a 2, what is, what did I say? This cell. That's, I would like to find out. Not a 2, 2, not a 2, 2. That was easy. That's a 2, which makes this a 9. There we go. There we go. If this was not a 2, we've got a unique rectangle here that makes this the 7. So now, if this is a 7, keep that in mind. Not a 2, 2, not a 2, 2. So if this is a 7 and that's a 2, the only spot left in the row for a 9 is here. So if that's not a 2, this is a 9. That's a type 2 alternating inference chain. No, it's not a chain. It's some weird net that includes a unique rectangle. But anyway, the principle remains. In neither case can this one be a 9. So we can eliminate that guy. That gives us a strong link there, and there, and there. And now we're done with this 2 up here. We finished. This is now a bi-value cell, and so there's no more point trying to do the 2. We could switch to the 8 and see what that does for us. Not an 8, 2. Oh, that did not do much for us, did it? Huh. Well then. Fine. Be that way. I'm going to move on. Not a 2, 2. That's the same thing. That just gives us the 8, 9 pair along the top row that interacts with nothing. What about the 9? Not a 9, 9. 2, 9, 2, 7. 9, as we sort of knew immediately. What would be interesting would be to get to place, to solve this cell, but, right, if this is not a 9, we're left with a 2, 8 pair, so what would be nice, oh, which makes that a 9, of course, which would means if we can place the 2 or the 8 somewhere that interacts with it, we could do an elimination. If we can break into these two 9s. Oh, well, that gives a 2-8 there as well. So, yeah, we need to place a 2-8 in one of these 3. The C is one of these 3 cells. I do believe this will end up as a 9, but anyway, I don't see how that's useful anyhow. Not a 9. 9, 2, 7. Now we have a 2-8 there as well, so we could place one down here. 9, 9, 2. I feel like this is useful. Means neither of those are 2, which means that's a 2. Aha! Will that do it? Not a 9, 9. Not a 9, 9. Not a 9, 9. Not a 2, 2. There we go. Simple type 2 alternating inference chain. Either this is a 9 or that's a 2. That's what we discovered. Either way, that cannot be a 2, which means this is the real 2. Wow, these 2 9s, they're the only values left in this whole stack. We're working our way toward a bug +1, aren't we? Or do we have... Oh no, we have this guy. Yeah, we've got a few cells with 3 values all down here. Oh yeah, we've got them kind of everywhere. Okay. Now what? Where shall we go? What shall we do? I don't know. I feel like starting on this 8 now. Not an 8, 8, 9. 2, 9, 2. 9, 2. 9, 2. 8. We have to somehow place an 8 over here. So the only way I foresee us doing that is what's in this cell? Not an 8, 8, not an 8, 9. Not a 9. Yeah, that doesn't seem very likely for us to solve right now. If it turned out for this cell to be a 9, why did I think that could do it for us? Oh no, to be an 8. Oh, to be an 8. Not an 8, 8. 9, 8. Oh, it's a simple 2-string kite. Okay, cool. 8 is a strong link there and there. It's actually even remote pairs. So this can't be an 8 because of the remote pair or the 2-string kite from here. Cool. So that means that's a strong link on the 8. And, it gets better. That's a strong link on the 8, so that goes away. And that's a strong link on the 8. Cool. That's a strong link there that I didn't have marked yet. So, okay. Cool. Oh, moving along. What about this 2? Should this have another strong link? No. So let's look into it, see if we can make one. Not a 2. 2. 9. 2. 9. 2. Got to figure out which of those to eliminate. Either this one or this one. 2, 9. 2, 9. Neither of those are 9, which makes that a 9. 2. Got a 7-8 pair here. Wait. That can't be right. Oh, it must be a 2-8 pair here. No. What? Not a 2, 2, 9, 2, 9, 7. So yes, that's a 2-8 pair, but this is an 8. So that's the 2. Okay, there we go. Just placing this 7. Okay, if this is not a 2, it's an 8. So that cannot be an 8. If this is not a 2, we have 2, not a 2, 2, not a 2, 2, not a 2, 2, not a 2, 7. So that becomes a 7. It eliminates this one. That was an 8, eliminates that one. So if this is not a 2, this is a 2. That's the definition of a strong link, which gets rid of that one there, which leaves us with, bam, the 7. Okay. We're working our way closer to a bug plus 1 here. In fact, I wonder if we have a bug plus 2 right now, because those are kind of fun. So if we end up with 2 cells everywhere, that's a no-no. That's forbidden. That would mean that Sudoku has 2 solutions, and that's not the way they're designed. And in order to do that, we'd have to remove this 9 that has no strong link coming off of it. And also this 2, which has no strong link coming off of it. All the rest are all strong links. And anything that doesn't have one, other than the 9s here and the 2s here, is just missing the mark. But it looks like I've got them all with a quick skim. So if this is not a 9, this is a 2. That's like an artificial or a sort of cool strong link we can just know based off of that principle without trying to trace the whole chains around. Either this is a 9 or that's a 2. Otherwise, we'd have ourselves a binary universal grave. Can we use that somehow? 9 or 2? No. Let's see. Yes. Either way, that solves these the same way. Like, either this is a 9, which makes this 2, 9, or this is a 2, which makes this 2, 9. Huh? 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 So that's going to solve it for us. And I want to let this happen with auto apply because I find that satisfying, because that will finish the whole puzzle. So one more time. We know we can't erase both this 9 and this 2, because that would leave us with just 2 cells throughout the entire, bi-value cells throughout the entire puzzle. So either this is the 9 or this is the 2. In both cases, we're left with the solution that the 2 goes here and the 9 goes here. So we'll just let that play out with auto apply to finish the fun puzzle. Hour and 44 minutes. Holy cow. Well, I may put this up on YouTube, in which case, good for you for watching to the end. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I haven't done a long Sudoku like this in a while. Um, so, okay, application, thank you for the recommendation. I enjoyed it. And if anyone else is watching and found it interesting, go ahead and say so. Give him a thanks as well. I will post a link at the bottom to this Reddit post that started the whole thing. You can go leave him a thanks. Until next time, have fun with your Sudokus.